What do you get when you mix environmentalism and a mutant giant bear? Well, you get 1979's Prophecy. So let's go.
Flip the switches to maximum amplification as Parker, Dan, and Angela prepare for their operation. With trivia and plot points scrawled across their walls, laughter and debate erupts as the movie's drama calls. The world may call them crazy, minds gone astray, but genius and passion and madness all dance the same way. Now the show begins to rise from its broadcast realm, and you can open your eyes as we dissect that film.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Dissect That Film Podcast, a podcast that dissects the good, the bad, and the ugly of cinema. I am your host, Brett Parker. Joining me are the other hosts of this show, Dan and Angela.
Hello.
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 How's it going?
It's going.
It's good. I realized that we have like something back here. I thought it was a rat. It's not.
That's right. I thought there was a moth flying around. There probably is.
It's my chart. You talking about my charger?
Well, yeah. I just looked like I just seen like
that was my
mass, and then
charger.
like it tells like a rat. And I was like,
It's
why would
like
we have a rat
all the
here?
things that
Doesn't
have
make
been
any
back there
sense.
for years. I just realized it now.
What? I know,
What?
right? I don't fucking.
It's my side of
I
the
don't pay
bed. He
attention
don't
to
care.
shit.
Oh, God. Well, today is our second episode of our Jaws Clone Month, where we started off the month talking about the 1999 classic Tremors. Last week, we hung out to talk about Jason because it was his birthday for Friday the 13th, Part 3. And so now we're back talking more Jaws clones with 1979's Prophecy.
It is not the offspring of witchcraft or Satan. It was created by man. It will grow to be 15 feet tall. It will have huge eyes, webbed hands, hooked claws. It will walk upright. And it will mindlessly, mercilessly kill every living thing it meets. Prophecy.
Now, Dan, this was your pick for the month. Why did you choose it? Do you have like a connection to it, or did you look at a list and say, that sounds good?
It was Captain Planet.
Really?
But realistically, no.
I was gonna
Realistically,
say, what?
no. I did watch Captain Planet as a
he's
kid.
our hero.
In all fairness. But no, it was literally on the list. I was like, okay, this is Jaws list. I've heard of this movie. I was like, here's the excuse to watch it and talk about it.
Have you ever seen it?
No.
Oh, okay. Angela, no? Wow, this is another instance where all three of us have not seen this movie or seen the movie we are here to talk about. So this is going to be exciting. And I'm glad it's an episode of just us three, where it's all three of us have no history. We're going into this blind. I mean,
You're prophecy virgins.
Yeah, exactly. The most I knew about this movie was that it was about a mutant bear, because anytime you would mention it, that was like the number one thing people would bring up is, oh, it's that mutant bear movie. It's like, okay, cool. And as I don't usually do it, but I usually buy movies that I've seen before, because at least I know I liked it enough to own it. But I said, screw it. I'm going to buy this movie, and I'm glad I did. I bought this awesome 4K Blu-ray from Kino Lorber.
Yeah.
Great transfer, by the way.
Yeah, they do good stuff.
Love this cover, by the way. This is a really cool cover for the little mutant bear and the egg.
Now turn it inside out.
There is none. They don't have that flip cover.
I know. I'm just being a dipshit.
Yeah, they don't have
This
the
is a good
flip
word.
cover. I was looking at it. I mean, it does have. The cool thing is it has so it's got the slip cover, And then it has this version of the cover, which they're both
Yeah, I kind of
cool.
like that. It's kind of dope.
I like this one, but I also like this one. And they're both original covers. It's not like, because I know with a lot of steelbooks and a lot of like 4Ks, it'll be like new art for the slipcover. And this was actually an original poster that they just incorporated.
Nice.
Yeah. Well, that's a quick one for history since none of us have any. So I guess we should go
Damn right.
We should go into some of the behind the scenes fun for Prophecy. There's quite a few things to talk about. For one, the funny thing is that this movie wasn't originally supposed to be the monster movie that we would get. It was actually written to be more of the protect the environment type story with elements of a monster, like some sort of creature, like the legend that they talk about in the movie. But John Frankenheimer, who is the director of this one, he kind of just went, nah, we're going to make this a monster movie. And him and the writer... No, keep going.
I was like, he just walked up to him, dropped his Frankenheimer on the table, and he's like, listen, motherfucker.
He pretty much did.
Killer bear.
The funny thing is, the writer of this movie, David Seltzer, he wrote this movie, he wrote the screenplay, and he wrote the book that it's supposedly based on. Like, he wrote an actual novel. And he was the one who brought it to Frankenheimer, and Frankenheimer pretty much just was like, he pretty much was doing things behind his back. He was actually letting him on set, but then Seltzer was seeing things he didn't like. He pretty much got to the point he was like, I'm done. I'm just gonna go. This is not the movie I was expecting to get. This is not good. See you later. The special features for this Blu-ray they're not like your normal special features where it's like a breakdown behind the scenes talking to everybody, like, you know, as part of the production. It was, each special feature is an interview with either one of the actors or the writer or the guys who did like the special effects, and they kind of tell their story about the movie. So the first one was Talia Shire, who is in this, who plays Maggie Verne. For anyone who doesn't know who she is another crazy fact that I never knew. She is the sister of Francis Ford Coppola. She was in The Godfather. She, of course, I think most people would know her as Adrian from the Rocky movies. She is also the mother of Jason Schwartzman, who was in like Scott Pilgrim vs. the World. He's been in a bunch. He's in a lot of Wes Anderson movies.
Okay.
Yeah. Never knew that she was his mom until I was watching. I think it was on like TikTok or something. There was a video that popped up of him on a podcast, and he was talking about how like people would come up to them and like yell like, yo, Adrian, and stuff like that. And I was like, wait, what? I heard he was a Coppola. I knew he was a Coppola, and I knew he was related to Nicolas Cage, who was also a Coppola. But I never knew that Talia Shire was also a Coppola, so that's where my confusion was. But
checks out.
Of course, all these interviews on the special features are, I think they were all filmed in like 2019. So, you know, it's 40 years after the movie came out. And it starts off like she had a good experience with Frankenheimer, and, you know, she liked the direction of the script, and even with the monster element, she really enjoyed herself. And then she gets into like this whole rant about, you know, protecting the environment and all this stuff. And I was like, okay, all right. You're not talking about the movie anymore. I like where you're going, but I'm going to move on to the next interview. And the next one was with Robert Foxworth, who plays Dr. Rob. And he talks about kind of his experience with the movie. And he has like a very different experience where he was like, yeah, Frankenheimer was kind of crazy. Like, he kind of did his own thing, but it was like, it was a good set, you know, things were good, but he's like, I remember seeing the monster and I was just like, this is good. Not what I was expecting type thing. Robert Foxworth, which I just found out about 5 seconds before getting into the episode, he was the voice of Ratchet in the Michael Bay Transformers movies. I did not know
What?
this.
Right
Yeah.
there, I just had
What
it
the
up.
fuck?
Yeah. He literally was the voice of
Ratchet's
Ratchet.
dope, dude.
Yeah. For the first 4 Transformers movies. And he also did the voice for the Revenge of the Fallen video game.
Sweet, dude.
Yeah, he was mostly a TV actor. He did a lot of Law and Order, Boston Legal. He was in Justice League Unlimited for 6 episodes.
Who did you do in?
Dr. Hamilton or Professor Hamilton?
Doesn't ring a bell.
He did 14 episodes of The Real Adventures of Johnny Quest. Yeah, a lot of
Really?
stuff. Yep.
Damn.
What was the Sequest?
I think I talked about that show.
He was in the show Sequest. Oh, that was the next one. It wasn't the original one. But yeah, he did a lot of TV, some movies. Like I say, he did Omen 2 in 1978, followed by this. He did, and then his biggest thing, looking at his films, was the first 4 Transformers movies. So
That is so funny,
pretty
dude.
crazy.
Good for him.
Good
for him that he had a career, late into his life.
Yeah, he's still around too. Armand Asante is in this. He's done a lot of stuff. I remember seeing him in the miniseries for the Odyssey. That was one they showed in school. He played John Gotti in an HBO movie. He's been in a lot of stuff.
Oh, I remember him from Judge Dredd.
That's right.
what it was.
He was in Judge Dredd. Yeah, Charlie's gonna be.
I knew he looked
Charlie's gonna
familiar.
yell at me for not remembering that. He was Rico in that. Yeah.
Didn't he brown face? Because he plays a Native American in this.
I feel like he did. So, yeah. I mean, technically, yes.
I don't care, but, I don't know his lineage.
I think it's. Yes, this was 1979. So it was the time of you look slightly like what we need, and you're a seasoned actor. Let's bring you in and have you. Because as soon as I saw him, and he is, part of the native tribe, I was like, I don't think Armando Asante is Native American, but
I thought the same thing. I was like, this motherfucker ain't Native American.
At least I didn't paint his face. At least I didn't make him look dark. At least I didn't do what they did to what's his name from Lost World. They're like, yeah, we're gonna. I think we're gonna give you a nice tan.
RJ.
Yeah, we're gonna give you a nice tan white guy to play this Indian guy.
Fair point.
Yeah. Like I said, at least they didn't paint his face and make him like because movies did that, and it was like it's like he just had a dark complexion, and they just like perfect, and you're a good actor.
Good enough.
Come in.
Yeah.
Victoria Racimo as Ramona Hawks. I didn't even know this was his wife in the movie. Didn't realize that. Just thought she was I just thought she was part of the group. Didn't realize that they were married. Oh man. What have you? Oh, I guess nothing. Literally nothing. I clicked on her name. She's got nothing. Richard Dysart. We've talked about him once before because he played Dr. Copper in The Thing. He gets his arms chewed off by a dude's abdomen.
Oh, yeah. I thought he looked familiar.
Yeah.
His wild ass hair.
Yeah, I saw him. I was like, I know that face. And it's funny because what happens to him in this movie is like the complete opposite of what happens to him in The Thing.
Yeah.
It's like he just loves getting dismembered.
Yes.
George Glutisi as Hector.
Ooh, that sounds like a condition.
Who was this guy? Who was Hector? Was this the grandfather? It was the grandfather.
It was Emrai or whatever.
Yeah.
Emrai.
I just completely butchered his name. My apologies. Let's see. We got Burke Burns as Travis Nelson, who was the dad of this family. Mia Ben Dixon as Kathleen. She was the daughter, and Johnny Timko as the very, very excited boy of the family.
I know.
Oh yeah.
And we're going to talk about
this girl and boy.
I can't wait to talk about that. I'm so excited.
Oh yeah.
Oh, me
so
too. Yes.
Excited. Oh man. Kevin Peter Hall is the man inside the suit for our mutant bear. But also, oh man, why is he not credited on here? Oh, this is how I figured it out.
Oh yeah. I was reading it in the
Yeah. Tom McLaughlin.
Yes. He was the director of Friday the 13th, Part 6.
Fuck yes.
That's important. Tom McLaughlin. Yeah, he was the original suit actor for the mutant bear, and I guess Frankenheimer wanted certain shots of the bear that only a taller actor could do, and so that's where Kevin Peter Hall came in and did his thing.
Yeah.
Of course, for anyone who doesn't know who Kevin Peter Hall is, he is the Predator. He is Harry from Harry and the Henderson. He was a wonderful, wonderful suit actor who did a lot of great things and sadly passed away at a way too young of an age. I think he's been gone since before I was born. So he's been gone like almost 34 years. So pretty sad.
Yeah, he died in 1991.
Yeah. So yeah, John Frankenheimer, the director, for anyone who doesn't know who he is, he directed the original Manchurian Candidate. He did The French Connection 2. The movie that he did before this was Black Sunday, which was based on a Thomas Harris book, the guy who also wrote all the Hannibal Lecter books. He was also the director of another mutant animal movie, The Island of Dr. Moreau from 1996.
Oh.
And he directed Reindeer Games in 2000. And he sadly passed away in 2002. So he's been gone for quite a while. As I said, it was written by David Seltzer, who would write screenplays for the original Omen, Bird on a Wire, which is a great Mel Gibson, Goldie Hawn movie that no one talks about, but it's one of those like really funny. At least when I was a kid, it was really funny. I haven't seen it in a while, so maybe I should hold my tongue on that. And let's see, writer. He was credited for writing the remake of The Omen, but that's because he wrote the original. And
yeah, makes sense.
Cinematography was done by Harry Stradling Jr. He would do cinematography for Caddyshack 2.
Oh,
there we go.
Yeah.
Let's see. Let's go through the list here. Nothing that I recognize at all. Music was done by Leonard Rosenman. I love the music in this movie, by the way. Really good. And he would do music for Rebel Without a Cause, Star Trek IV, Beneath the Planet of the Apes, Battle for the Planet of the Apes, Barry Lyndon, and the animated Lord of the Rings.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah.
With the weird motion capture.
Yes. If you want to hear an episode, actually a couple episodes of people recently talking about that movie, Dustin and Paul talked about it over on the Flicks and Friends podcast with Wyatt from Cinema Trip Reviews, and M over at Verbal Diorama did a whole month of Lord of the Rings, covering pretty much all of them, except the only one she didn't talk about was the Hobbit, the animated Hobbit.
You guys suck.
Oh,
no, I'm just kidding. She's good.
You like him.
I'm biased. I'm sorry. I fucking love that movie.
But you should go listen to those episodes.
That was rude.
Yes. Yes, it was. It was released June 15th, 1979. So it's actually, as of this recording, it's going to be hitting its, 41st birthday? Or no. Yeah.
Damn right.
Is that right?
No.
Is that math?
40.
Did I do math right? No, 46th birthday. I know math.
Yes.
You guys will hear it
I don't
afterwards, but yeah. I had a budget of $9 million, and the box office for this was $22.7 million.
So I made a little bit of money.
Yeah, it made pretty decent money. Thomas Berman was the effects artist who helped create the bear. He has a story because he was included in the behind the scenes where he talks about how he was told that they reached out to Rick Baker first, and Rick Baker didn't like the idea behind the movie. He didn't like the design of the creatures, so he was like, I'm good. And then Stan Winston was contacted, and he cost too much. I guess he wanted like $2 million, and they're like, our budget's $9 million. Sorry.
Yeah, no.
Yeah. So they passed on those two and brought in Thomas Berman, who, created the bear, created everything that is included with it. Had a pretty small crew for it, but he was asked, he needed to complete everything in 3 months, which was like almost unheard of. He said, it was crazy for me to say yes, because I think when Stan Winston came in, he was very enthused about doing it, and he said he would have needed like 8 to 9 months, and they're like, we don't have that time. So that's where Berman comes in. He said that when the movie was all done and they were screening it in different places, that he was getting feedback that there was, a lot of good press for it. Like, people were actually enjoying it. And so they're like, hey, we're going to do a screening at this big theater in LA. It's not the Chinese theater. I think it was called the Egyptian. So he goes out there with his family, all dressed up to go see the movie. And they get through the movie and they're going through the credits and it shows his name as like the effects artist. And there's people booing in the crowd. And all they're going is, "We want Rick Baker." Later, finding out that there was guys from Rick Baker's crew that went to the screening and purposely booed him because Rick Baker wanted the job, but yet originally he was told that he didn't want the job because of the bear design. So I guess him and Rick Baker aren't really cool with each other. The great thing about these interviews is that no one holds back. Like when David Seltzer talks about he throws John Frankenheimer under the bus. He's like, "Yeah, I think he suffered from alcoholism. He was kind of a tool type thing." I was like, Jesus Christ.
Shots fired.
It was crazy listening to some of these interviews, but it was entertaining to say the least.
It's eternal grudge right there.
Yeah. Golly, this is wild. But yeah, there's not a whole lot to talk about. I guess if I think of anything, we'll talk about it during the plot breakdown. So are you guys ready to talk about the plot of Prophecy?
Yes.
Yes.
Hey there, Bluey Nation. Are you as obsessed with the Australian animated phenomenon Bluey as we are? Then listen closely. I'm Robert Yanis Jr.
And I'm Darren Lundberg, and we're the hosts of
Back to Bluey,
your for real life favorite podcast about the themes, lessons, and laughs of Bluey. Just two dads on the internet taking advice from cartoon dogs.
We'll discuss all the heartwarming and heartbreaking moments, as well as the sense of fun and play that makes Bluey such an aspirational sensation.
Find us on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Good Pods, or wherever you listen to podcasts. Till then, remember, it all comes back to Bluey.
All right, let's do it.
Let's do it.
It's time to dissect that.
Listen, most of the bears we have around here have their skin on. I'm just saying it's more, normal.
Hey, I forgot to mention. Do you know who did the voices of the bear and the bear cubs?
Oh my God, Frank Welker.
Damn right, Frank Welker, baby. Sometimes I feel like it's like, did he really, or they just credit him on everything.
Just gonna insert that there.
It's like, how are they gonna know? How are they gonna know? Just put Frank Welker. Just put him.
Yeah, they'll never know. I mean, I believe it, to be honest, but I thought that was funny. I was like, oh my God, I'm just finding all these crazy things out about this movie. So the movie opens to just very dark, and all you see is lights bouncing. You don't really see any people behind the lights. I was like, what is it? Like, do I have to turn the brightness up on my TV? What's happening right now? But these lights are bouncing through the woods, and you hear a dog panting, like really close to the microphone. It's like, yeah. You think it's a dog.
Dude, I was concerned.
Then you figure out that it's actually the creature that's like panting, like somewhere. But it's like really close to the microphone.
I was concerned because we were watching it. I was like, what the fuck is this?
Yeah, I was like, is that dogs?
What is that? I was like, oh, that's headlamps.
Yes.
But what's with the noises? Yeah.
And you find out that it's a group of guys with some dogs, and they're going after something. They're chasing something. And they're running, and this dog just yeets himself off this cliff. And the guy's like, wow! It's like got to hold it. This dog just slams into the side of this cliff, and I'm like, thank God that was a dummy dog. Like you see it when it flies over, it's just like super stiff. It looks like a stuffed animal, like whee. But they actually had the dog like suspended. Like when they show them pulling it up, it's an actual dog in the harness, and they're hoisting him back up. But then as they're hoisting it back up, but as they're hoisting it back up, something just pulls it down, and it's gone. Why are we picking all these movies that there's dogs dying?
At least this one's less blatantly graphic about it.
That's true.
It's all done off screen.
Yeah. I mean, we do see like the aftermath, but
yeah, it's true.
It's not like humanoids. So the owners are like, we got to go down there and get them. They freaking jump off the cliff. All you hear is screams. I love that. They don't show anything. You just hear the screams, from below. You don't see anything. And then this last guy goes down and he falls and he lands right next to his buddy who's just torn to shreds. And then he starts screaming because he sees something, and then it goes black. And then you get this classical music playing over this wide shot of all the dead bodies on this on the shoreline. You see the dogs,
like the dude just hanging there.
The dude that's just like, poor dude. Yeah, these guys. I thought it was such a great touch to have that classical music playing over this just absolutely graphic scene.
Symbolic.
Yes. And what that turns into is it transitions into like an orchestra playing, and we meet one of our main characters, Maggie, played by Talia Shire, and she's playing the cello. And she says that she took cello lessons. She knew how to play cello, like just for this movie. She didn't know how to play cello before. She's doing a terrible job of faking it. It does not look good at all. She lied
her application. Yeah.
I just love that.
I do have celloed before.
I just love that the woman sitting next to her is like, "What are you doing?" And she's like, "I'm sorry." It was like during this big performance, I feel like this is an actual orchestra playing in front of this crowd, and she's like,
"You can pretend to play."
Do better. We're gonna lose the fucking gig.
She says that after this movie, she bought herself a cello, and she still owns it today. So, all right.
She doesn't play it. It just sits in the corner.
It just sits in the corner.
It's decor.
That was the cello I had during that movie, Prophecy. And so she's very distracted. That's kind of why she's not playing very well, but also she's just not very good at playing the cello. So after the performance, she is talking to her friend or the other cellist who's sitting next to her, and I guess you find out that she's pregnant. And you get into this whole conversation where you find out that her husband doesn't want to have kids because he doesn't want to bring kids into this messed up world, which I can understand to a degree, but then you probably should either pull out or wear protection so you don't have kids.
Yep.
It's pretty.
There's ways around it.
Pretty easy theory there, doctor, when you find out who the husband actually is. My goodness. So yeah, we're in Washington, D.C., and there is this is what the movie calls it, the Indian Resistance March. And also it's just showing Native Americans kind of like doing protests in Washington, D.C., which is wild that this is 1979 and these were going on and still this type of stuff is happening today in 2025. So shows you how much change is happening. Oh yeah, I know. It's been happening for
long before that.
So long since the U.S. government was created.
Yep.
But that's enough about politics. So we are then venture to a rough part of the city where other minorities are living. Yes, very
he calls it.
Yeah, I mean, this is like one of the roughest parts of a city I've seen in a movie in a long time. Like it is bad here, and he's going there to. He works for the EPA, right?
Yes.
And he's there. He goes, and he's also a doctor, so he goes there because he gets notified about a situation. He goes and finds out that a little boy or a little baby got bit by a rat. And you're listening to this mom, she is just crying and talking about how the landlord is trying to, pull one off on her and say what were they trying to blame it on? What was the landlord saying? I forgot what she says. It's he said it was, it was chicken pox.
Yeah.
She's like, no, there's rats everywhere, and he got bit by a rat.
And the rats need somewhere to live. I was like,
yeah,
shit.
Yep.
You fucking suck.
So he takes the baby away, sends him to the hospital, and he's pissed because this place is in shambles, and people are the fact that people are living here is wild to him. So
yeah,
he's going to be talking to some people to try to fix things, and then I'm guessing it's his boss or somebody that works with him. Is hey, there's a situation going on in Maine between a paper company and the native people to the area. They're kind of at odds with each other, and we need you to kind of go there and be a mediator type thing, or just you look into what the paper company is doing, make sure everything is like good. And he's like, but that's not what I do. I'm not a mediator. And he's like, well, you kind of are. You're good at this.
Yeah, you're good with people.
You're good with people. Yeah. So he's like, whatever. So we're then flying to Maine. And this is when you find out that the woman from the beginning of the movie is the wife of the guy we see in the next scene. And you're like, oh, no. You're a doctor and you still didn't do it right.
Nope.
You don't want kids, but you did it wrong. Oh, God. And
He knows better.
yeah, he's just very cynical. He's kind of a douche.
Yes, he is. He's a maximum douche.
I mean, he clearly loves his wife. Like, you see it in some scenes. But yeah, he's definitely a gaslighter. He likes that gas.
He's also like too obsessed with his work sometimes.
Yeah, and I think that's the biggest thing.
Right.
He states that he doesn't want kids based on what he's seen himself. Especially like what we see with that scene that we get introduced to him. So it's cool. They're flying over like the lumber yards. They're seeing all the logs that are floating in the water. So this was filmed in Nova Scotia, I believe, or like parts of Canada,
or
British Columbia.
British Columbia.
And so very, very much a lot of wilderness. I love the cinematography in this movie. Getting to see like the landscapes and the logs and the water and all that stuff. I thought it was really, really good. So then when they land, we meet this really excited boy who is really excited about going camping. He's like, hey, random man, guess what I'm doing? I'm going camping with my dad and my sister. It's going to take us 3 days to get there. And I was like, nope, not happening.
Yep.
There is no way I'm going anywhere that takes me 3 days. Nope. Not.
So how long it takes to make a good batch of potato salad.
Dang it. I said that line.
No,
Thank
I know,
you.
but I was like, it's there. He said it. It comes up. It has to be mentioned.
But he is
You get it.
excited about going camping. And I just needed to point that out. I just love that. It's like, hey, mister.
Full of glee.
Yeah.
We're sleeping outside.
Yeah. It's like,
he's not that annoying kid
fun.
with a big forehead just kicking the back of your seat on the plane.
Oh. Yeah.
Somebody's going to say something to him, right? I got to say something to him. Don't say anything. Just say something. Just contemplating with yourself what you want to do.
Yep. Just wait till we're over international waters. Wait till we're over international. Throw them out of the plane.
We've watched movies where a kid was running back and forth. We were sitting in a row that had a break before some more rows. He kept running back and forth. I said, I'm just going to stick my foot out and trip this kid. Because he ran back and forth like 9 or 10 times during this movie. I was like, I'm just going to accidentally.
Sorry.
I don't know what happened.
I don't know what happened.
It's called bad parenting. If you're in a movie, tell your kids to shut the fuck up. If they can't take them out.
If you don't, that's why I took my daughter when she was probably like 3.5. Yeah, she was probably around the age that my youngest is right now. And we took her to see Toy Story 4. And she was very, like, she could not sit still. And it was a determination after that. It's like, no, I'm not taking her to a movie for a while. This just isn't a good idea. Where like parents will like, their kids will do that and then they'll bring them again. You're like, no.
Stop it.
People are there to enjoy the movie, not listen to your kid scream or whatever. Like, to be honest, when I go to a movie and there's a kid, if it's like a kid's movie or whatever, and there's kids like asking questions to their parents, I don't care about that. That doesn't bother me. It's the kids that are screaming or just running around. You're like, is this a playground now?
Yeah.
Mom, what does vagina mean? What?
Where did you hear that?
We're watching Paw Patrol. What? This was never brought up.
Oh no. Yeah,
no,
so
that never happened.
So they're at this airfield and they turn around and there's just a dog suspended from a helicopter.
So it's like, dog.
What's that dog doing up there? What that dog doing?
We just had a zebra.
Let me pet that dog.
We just had a zebra get transported by a helicopter because it escaped.
Yeah, zebra.
That's hilarious.
We don't fuck around with no zebra in these parts.
So you find out that the dog is the last of a rescue crew that was sent out. They actually worked for the paper company. And so they sent out people who worked for the paper company to go search for another missing group. Was that the whole thing? It was like a group went missing. They sent out more people and that group is now missing. It's like, whoop.
Listen. That's not what I thought you were going to say. I thought you were going to say they found out this dog was the last of his kind. I was like, what? What dog is this?
A special kind of blood.
Yes. There were workers that went out. They went missing. The rescue party went out. And of course,
the rescue
they
party
went missing.
Yeah, that's who we witnessed get slaughtered in the beginning of the movie.
Yep.
The paper company guy, played by Richard Dysart, or his name is Bethel Isley. To be honest, I heard Isley maybe twice. I never heard him get called Bethel. So he was just paper company guy for the majority of
well, dude, he's silver-tongued as fuck.
Oh, he is just fiery. But he is maybe like...
didn't seem to care about the group, though.
No.
Like, oh, yeah, they went missing.
Yeah. Like, oh, yeah, we tried, and it didn't work. But he also was like, he's like, oh, so who do you think did it? Do you think it was the natives? And it's like, oh, yeah, absolutely. That's 100% what I think. It's like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
I like how he like grabs her cello and he's talking about how like the cello is made out of like 3 different woods and like all that stuff and like rips it out of her hand. I was like, and she's just like, oh, can I have that back?
He's like, don't worry, ma'am. I know my wood. And I was like, I bet you do.
But yeah, when he's talking about how he thinks it's the natives, he's like, yeah, well, the natives think was it Katahdin? Is that how you say it? Katahdin?
I don't remember how to use.
Something like
that. Katahdin.
Katahdin.
Which is this like legend. It's like Bigfoot. That's how he describes it. It's like a Bigfoot legend. And so they're driving to the cabin. Some more great cinematography, by the way, where it's like you get the aerial shots of them driving through this, very beautiful landscape. And they get stopped by a group of the natives. And it goes terribly. So it's literally there. It's like one road to get to this cabin that they're staying at. And there's a chain across and then they got the group of the people there. And of course, Bethel, he gets out and he's just like, oh, John, you got to move. John played by Armand Asante. And boy, this man's face the whole time, one face.
Yep.
And he's pretty much like, no, we're not moving or anything. To the point, we get a face-off where John has an axe, and then some dude just takes out a chainsaw, and they have a battle with it. And then he trips over the line. He has his feet propped up onto the chain, and the dude has the chainsaw mere centimeters from his neck. And Armand Asante looks genuinely scared in the scene. He is like you see tears forming in his eyes. Like, he thinks he's going to die, but he's like, just open the gate, and he is sitting there with a chainsaw that close to him, just ripping him to shreds. And he's like, don't do it, to the point that his wife actually Ramona ends up opening it.
Yep.
It's a big thing because Rob pops in and he's just like, stop this is insane, like, what are we doing here? Like, this is not how you fix things. And Bethel, man, he is just ruthless. Like, he acts like he's like the sheriff around these parts. He's just the dude who works for the paper company.
I own this bitch.
He's like, kill him. If you have to, kill the guy. And I was like, what the fuck? There's witnesses. I don't think that's how this works.
I think Johnny was like, well, if they kill me, then they have blood on their hands.
Right.
That gives them more of a standing.
Yeah. But the wife didn't want to see him die, so she had to do what she had to do.
Bullshit, I did. I was like, ice this motherfucker. Not really. I don't know. I was just kidding.
So they got to take a boat to the cabin. So it's literally, they got to go on this one road, and then they got to take a boat to the cabin that they're staying at. The lake is beautiful, by the way.
It's out there.
It's like blue.
Yes.
As like, I like seeing a lake this blue is wild. It's like blue with that like green tint. Like,
yeah,
it's gorgeous. And then the next scene is her playing her cello. And again, she doesn't look like she's actually playing the cello.
Cello.
I don't even think the bow is actually touching the strings.
Probably not.
And
Oh,
like
She's gonna-
God.
and like the audience, she goes, I'm done. I don't want to play anymore. And we're like, thank God.
And I'm done.
And her husband's out there fishing for salmon, and he catches one. And I thought it was gonna break free. I always, every time somebody's fishing, it takes forever for them to reel it in. I was like, it's gonna snap up. But no, he gets it. But then he turns around and sees the fakest looking salmon jump out of the water. This thing was gray. There was no details of this fish when it jumps out of the water. It looks like a toy. I was like, there's no eyes. There's no detail to this thing. It's just one solid color when it jumps out of the water. He's like, oh.
They just went to Walmart and grabbed one of those $3 real animal.
Yes.
Whoa.
They're like
Just add some extra color.
Well, that's the thing is they were like, all right, we need the art department to just put some detail on this thing. And they're like, well, are we putting it in the water? It's like, yeah. It's like, the paint's going to come off. Well, I guess we're going to have to deal.
Use waterproof colors. I don't know.
Use some lacquer,
Something.
baby.
Yeah.
I don't know, but it definitely didn't have any
Enamel
color
even.
when
Don't
they
just
used
go
it. It's like somebody
like,
had it on a
dip,
stick and they were just like,
pull, damn it. Pull
But this-
so hard all the color just comes off.
But the thing is, did this salmon pull that duck under? Because he sees a duck and then
I
you see
thought-
the duck just get yoinked into the water.
That's what I thought.
So I thought
Who
it was
did
the
that?
salmon.
Is this like, listen, people have probably seen this by now, but is this like, wait a minute, when does Humanoids come out?
80.
Before or after this release? Like for us?
Oh, this will be Humanoids will be out already by the time people listen to this.
It's like when the dude gets pulled with a rope.
Oh,
I just
yeah.
imagine
So you
that's
see
just
him
the
and he just
duck.
goes
Somebody
drag,
underneath
like,
it, just
50 feet.
whoop.
Yeah. See you.
Bye, duck.
But it looked like a real duck that gets yoinked.
It did. I think it was a real duck that got yoinked. That's why I was like, what the fuck?
I feel so bad for that
I thought
duck.
that duck was all right. I mean, we already got flying dogs. What the fuck, man?
But then we get our first inkling that there's something in the woods because you see a bush shaking and then you hear like what is that? Something's in there. You just all I can think of is when nature calls when it's just like, oh wee, and it's the gorilla fucking that guy. Yeah.
No, I just thought of the scene in the tent. I know the scene you're talking about. I forgot about the gorilla scene. Now that you said that, that's great. I was just thinking of like a bear. That bear is just feverishly masturbating in the shrubs. Like, I want that salmon.
I wanted some alone time. Okay.
So we're at the cabin. You know, the couple, they're getting nice and close. They're getting romantic. You think
Barry White playing?
Yeah, they're talking about building a family, and he again, of course, is against it.
Yeah, we'll build it out of Legos. That's what you mean, right, dear? He's like, yes, yeah, that's exactly what I mean.
Yeah, and she still doesn't want to tell him that she's pregnant, so she just keeps it to herself because his reaction to talking about building a family is not going the way she was hoping. So she just kind of was like, whatever. How about we'll just have sex? But before that can happen, they get a knock on the door. And it's a rabid raccoon.
Rocket.
Just starts attacking them. It's hilarious, by the way. This movie doesn't know what kind of tone it wants to have, where it's like super serious environmentalism, storyline. But then it's like, this is going to be a cartoon where this raccoon attacks them. And it's like one of those things where it's just like flopping all over everywhere. And then she gets attacked by the raccoon. And then
he's like beating it with a shovel.
Then he pins it against the wall and throws it in the fire.
He's like, I'm saving you. I'm an environmentalist. Whoa!
Like,
funny if the whole cabin exploded the moment the raccoon.
It's like, honey, we're having raccoon tonight.
Roasted.
So we are with the enthusiastic boy and his family as they're hiking, and the daughter is just blaring disco music while they're hiking. I was like, this is when the dad tells her to shut it off, and then she goes, "Can I turn it back on?" I was like, no, I don't want to listen to that while I'm hiking.
No, I said
in these beautiful woods. Why the hell do we want anything else? Disco is dead, even in 1979. Stop it.
Yeah, nobody gave a shit about disco. But when did Rasputin come out? That song.
That was in the
Big and
80s.
strong.
Shit.
What? Was it in the 70s?
Okay,
Please.
that's it.
No, now I've got that and Moscow stuck in my head.
I love Moscow.
It's just, dude, it's Russian.
1979, so close.
Right then. It's Russian Power Rangers singing about. No, sorry, it's German Power Rangers singing about Russia.
Oh, okay.
It literally looks like Power Rangers.
It is, dude. 100%.
It sounds like the title of a Rammstein song. They did a song called America, so I figured maybe they do a song called Moscow.
Yeah.
Oh, it's got to be sweet. They did a song called America.
You've never heard America by Rammstein?
Fuck no.
You got to listen to America by Rammstein. It's great.
I bet it's dope.
It's awesome.
And I'll sit there and listen to it. I'm like, fuck, I should have paid attention in German class.
Oh, I have no idea what they're saying. I listen to a lot of Rammstein, but I don't know what that. I got to learn German too.
If they say a number between 1 and 100, I'll probably know.
There's a song called Sane, or Sone, I think is how you pronounce it, and the song starts off with him counting from 1 to 10 in German.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
Yeah.
11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 18, 19, 20.
Sure.
I keep going, but I'm not gonna.
Yeah.
Once you get to 21, it gets weird. That's all I'm saying. Once you hit 21, because it's 22, I think, or is it 22? Yeah, it's weird.
Be careful.
Really...
Be careful what you're saying. You're probably going to say something.
Dude, listen. If I offend somebody in Germany and took German and took this fucking long,
let's see.
Congratulations.
Let's see how many German listeners we've had this month. We do have German listeners. We've gotten downloads from Germany.
They're gonna come at you
please
angry.
judge Dan's German, please. We want to hear.
Oh, I'm sure it's bad. I remember 1 to 100 from high school, and that's it.
Here, let's look here. We have had, we got some German listeners. We've had German listeners. We love all of our listeners. So thank you for listening to this show.
They probably
from whatever country you live in.
I didn't say anything wrong. I wasn't talking about their Polish vacation. I was talking about their how they say numbers.
Moving on.
No German listeners.
Moving on.
I'm kidding.
I'll hit him later.
Listen, blaming. Go ahead.
So when this family is hiking, we then get another shot where you hear the growling that we heard before, and you see the tree kind of rustling, and you're just waiting for something to pop out of there. I think this is where this movie qualifies for that Jaws clone, because it's most of this movie you don't see the creature until about
sexual groans.
Halfway through the movie you finally see him for the first time, or it for the first time.
Yeah,
I will say the bear itself showed up a lot sooner than I thought it was going to.
Yeah,
I thought it was going to be like, well, it's way late, kind of like Bruce was. Like, you didn't really get a really good shot to like really kind of toward the end of the movie.
Yeah, because you get a lot of what we're seeing here with like the rustling of the tree, and you hear the growling or the breathing, and then or it's a first person camera angle,
yes.
Which Jaws did that with the shark. It was first person to where it was. Glimpses, like you would see, like when Alex Kittner gets attacked, you see the fin as he flips over the raft. But I like how this movie kind of doesn't show the monster for, it feels like it's still a decent amount of time. So Rob, he sends samples of the raccoon and samples of other things to his lab to get tested to see like what the heck is going on around here and why things are bigger than normal, because like he was talking about the seeing the salmon is like that salmon was way bigger than
massive.
I think salmon should be. So
it almost looked like a toy, like a prop even.
Yeah, kind of. Yeah,
carry on.
It looked like a Swedish fish that they just enhanced just to a bigger size. Enhance.
Thank you.
So Rob,
damn thing.
So Rob formally meets.
I'm sorry.
Rob formally meets John Hawkes, and John tells him that his people are suffering, like they're sick, and they really don't know what could be causing their sickness. There actually been people that have died from whatever is ailing them. And
yeah, because he's like, because what's his name? the logging villain, paper mill villain guy, because I'm saying they're just a bunch of drunkards, but that's not what's happening.
No, that's just him being a racist piece of shit.
Yeah, that's yep.
The paper boy.
Yeah,
The paper boy. Isn't that a whole horror movie?
wasn't that a
He's just
game?
coming by to bring you good news.
Yeah, there was. Do 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 do. Do, 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 and you throw it and you always miss it and you like hit the lawnmower or the fucking break their windows or some
Shreds.
shit.
Just shreds the
Yes.
newspaper. Oh man. So we meet the elder, or Hector, played by George Clooney. I said it better that time.
Mm-hmm.
Probably still didn't say it right. But he's clearly suffering from something, right? Do you feel like this guy's got like some sort of like dementia or something in that vein? Because he still has his faculties and he's still talking. He still seems coherent and he still seems like he knows what's going on around him to a degree. But of course, as they like to portray in these movies, is like a lot of the things he's talking about isn't like some sort of less like, teaching you something, right? Where it's like,
yeah, Rob notices something because he's got a cigarette, but Rob notices something up with his hand, but doesn't say anything. He's just kind of like an observation.
Yeah. So there's more talk about Kahadin, and they're walking through and they find like roots to roots to these trees are like above the ground, and they find this massive tadpole, like huge. This was one of the things that the writer was pissed off about. He's like, John Frankenheimer didn't know what a tadpole looked like, and I saw that what they created and it looked ridiculous. And I'm thinking to myself, what? Are we serious? Like, it looked fine to me.
Say it looked like a
just
tadpole.
like a tadpole.
I've seen tadpoles. It looks. I mean, they're clearly not even close to being that big, but I don't know, dude. I feel like you and John had some other issues, and you just were pointing out stupid shit to be like, yeah, you see what he does? He doesn't even know what a tadpole looks like. All right, bro, let's simmer down.
Yeah. At that point, it's like digress to like high school, like banter, like insult throwing. Like, dude, come on.
We're not in high school.
It's just, it was kind of, it was, in the beginning, it was interesting to hear kind of his views on the movie and like him, writing it and his idea behind the whole thing and him writing the book and all that. But then like, as soon as he talks about like John Frankenheimer, he just, I swear to God, the guy, he says nothing nice about him. And the guy's been, and by that time, the guy had been dead for like 17 years. Like, all right, dude, like, I get it. Didn't go so well for you, but it seemed like your career was pretty good even after doing it. So I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, he kept busy.
Yeah. So they talk about how they're like, where's the logging company? Like, where's the paper mill and all that stuff? And it's like,
yeah, because he said some of them would like the logs would drift.
Yeah, because
where
they
do the
find
rafts
the
come
logs.
from?
Yeah,
Like, they come and go.
Yeah, because they find logs in this part of the river. It's like, oh yeah, because they all feed from, what was the river called? Is it the Esper River? I think it was
something like that.
Yeah.
Espy River or something like that.
Oh, yeah, it might be Espy. So they take a tour of the lumberyard and the paper mill, and I was watching this go, hey, that's kind of like what I do. Like, literally, I was seeing machines. I was like, I've worked on machines like that. That's pretty crazy.
I do like this because it's like you're literally in a paper mill.
Yeah.
And I thought that was cool.
Which is
like just from a mechanical standpoint.
Which is where I work. I work in a paper mill. So it was cool. And it's funny because you're seeing equipment and you're like, 1979. It's like, no, that the machines I work on are probably from that fucking era.
Yeah.
Probably. I mean, fuck, if they still work, run them.
Yeah.
I guess.
It ain't broke, don't fix it.
So Rob asks Evil Paper Man, that's what I'm going to call him now, what type of stuff do you use? And he's like, oh, we use chlorine and we use caustic, but none of it goes into the river. And he's like, are you sure about that? It's all. And he's like prying him. He's like, are you sure? That's the only thing you guys are doing? And he's like, yeah, that's all we got. And he's just getting so worked up about this. And he just keeps grilling him and grilling him. And then he's figuring, he's like, I think there may be something else getting fed into the river. And he later finds out, I think it's mercury. And it's like,
because it's on his wife's boot because he's trying to figure. Because they like, just test the water. There's nothing there.
Yeah. There's like slime on her boot and she like wipes it off and he tests that and finds that there's mercury.
Proof, because I got proof. You were here. We watched it together. And he's like, what's the only thing? What was it? The only thing that stays dry when it's in water. And I was like, mercury.
Mm.
She was sitting right next to me. Before he said it, called it. Just gonna throw it out there. I had to gloat a little bit. I was like, it's fucking mercury. Yeah. Which was a big deal at the time.
Yeah. Still is. I mean, it's not that big of a deal. I mean, they've kind of figured out ways to not use mercury, but yeah, back in those days.
The biggest issue, well, I mean, literally, like, that's like leaded gasoline. No, I'm not in a big, I'm like, listen, we need to take care of the planet because we all fucking live here, but I'm not like a huge environmentalist. Leaded gasoline is literally poison an entire generation. That's why we have as much mercury content as we have in fish, because it all goes back to the water. Literally, leaded gasoline is one of the biggest contributors to that, and it still affects people to this day.
I live
in
an area where GE was very prominent, and they're not anymore, but they used what is called PCB. I don't know exactly. Mm-hmm. It's a type of chemical, and it's seeped into a lot of the rivers and ponds that are in my area, and it's still there today.
Yep, I believe it.
Like, there's literally a lake that's right down the street that literally is so filled with it that no living thing can live in it. Like fish can't like live in there. It's like there's no wildlife. I'm surprised that there's actually
a dead pond.
Yeah, pretty much. And if you do find anything in it, don't touch it. Probably gonna have 4 eyes.
Yeah, you'll become the prophecy.
Yeah.
What was the factory I told you about that was dumping stuff in the water, and it flowed into the Pigeon River?
Was it a lumber factory or was it an actual? I don't remember.
I can't remember
what it was. A paper factory.
I thought it was.
Ironic.
I think that's what it was. We had a factory get in trouble for dumping stuff in the water, and I think it was just recently that they said it's now okay to eat fish out of this river, but it's still limited to eat like 1 or 2 fish out of this river.
There's literally a sign like downtown. We have a walkway that goes right by a river. We're a very small town of like 6,000 and some people. There's literally a sign that says, due to levels of blah blah blah, only consume this much unless like your child, elderly, sickly, or pregnant. Do not do the thing.
Yeah, like they were finding all kinds of stuff in this water.
Yeah.
And I've lived here since I was 11. Like, so it's been a while.
Yeah, no thanks. I'll just not eat anything out of that river.
That's kind of how I
eating anything out of that river. They found cars and tires and people.
Well, I mean, a lot of things die in a river. In fairness, like I'm not talking about like the non-biological stuff that's not supposed to be there, but like people
they found cars.
Yes, I know the cars. I'm talking about people dying, like animals, everything die in rivers all the time.
Yeah.
So they got to test the. Is the whole idea is he's going to test the natives' blood, right? To kind of see if
they should have
mercury in their blood, right? So
be
like, this is what's
been there
killing you. Yeah.
If it's actually in fact in the water, because they get the fish, eat the fish, they're clearly getting poisoned from the environment.
Yes. And while they're in the process of doing that, evil paper mill man shows up with his posse, and they just start arresting people. But to the point that John fights them off, and then he just jumps out a window. He's just like, bye.
He does, dude. He just like. I was like, well, that's one way to get away.
I was like, okay.
He's in the door and out the window. He's tuck and roll.
What
he does.
What makes evil paper mill guy, so evil is that he goes around and he's arresting people for no reason, because he just assumes because they find. Never mind. I'm jumping the gun here. I don't want to keep continuing that so the idea is to test their blood. That's where I'm going to end, because they want to see if there's mercury in blood. Then we go to my favorite part of this movie. We're with the family as they're all camped out. They're sleeping. They're resting. Little boy zips himself up into a sleeping bag. Oh my God.
A cute little cocoon.
He's so adorable. And you hear something, and this is where we get the reveal of the creature, which you find out is just a mutant bear, but it attacks the family. It attacks the dad. He screams. He gets like torn up. I love when they do like the swipes, and it gets, You see like chunks of their back like gets removed. I don't remember. Do they show the sister dying? I don't remember seeing her get killed. I think it was just kind of.
I don't recall.
They just talk about. I think they talk about it later that they all died. But the best kill.
I was kind of enamored with something that happens. Yeah.
One of my favorite kills, not of just this movie, but of all time. Like people, when people talk about sleeping bag kills, they always talk about Jason, right? They always talk about Jason picking the girl up and hit her against a tree, blah, blah, blah. No. This has a beat. I don't care. This is one of the greatest kills of all time. This kid is zipped up in his sleeping bag up to his mouth. He tries to get up and hop away, and this bear bitch slaps him into a rock where he explodes. Feathers are everywhere. I literally was sitting on my couch, I had my phone in my hand, take my notes, and I literally, that happens, and I just was like, oh my God.
We did the same thing.
Just verbally just like laughing. It was so funny. Like, what is this movie?
It was so good. I showed him that at work today. I was like, watch the movie just for this scene.
Yep, that's it. Like, please.
It instantly became like one of my favorite kills I've ever seen on film. It's just so good. For one, this movie did not give a shit about killing kids. And this was a child. We saw him earlier, so excited about going camping. He was so giddy and just so excited, literally yelling at random people like, hey, I'm going camping. It's going to take 3 days to get there. And this kid gets fucking bitch slapped by a mutant bear into a rock, explodes into feathers. Like, absolutely gets annihilated.
He tried so hard. He was like Starfish.
I literally was like, bravo. I don't need to watch anymore. This is it. This is peak filmmaking.
Stop it right there.
Oh.
Sleep well, sweet prince.
Oh my God, it was so good. Okay.
And even the thing is though, there's no blood. It's great.
It's just feathers.
It's just feathers. It's fucking brilliant.
But the what makes it so much funnier is the fact that the bear is just, for the majority of the kills that happen in this movie, it's just the bear bitch slapping things. One paw, just bah.
Because they're just inherently that strong. This is just a freakish mutant bear. It just takes everybody out.
But when he bitch slaps it, this sleeping bag flies 100 miles an hour into this rock. It's not like he gets hit and he just like flops over. No, he is off the ground completely into this rock and
yes.
Rockets.
We both immediately looked at each other.
I love though that they show the kid's face in the sleeping bag, but you can't always see his eyes. He's like,
yeah, it's so good.
It's the best. Oh my goodness. Seriously, this movie is worth watching just for that kill alone.
Just for
that. Yep. Yeah. So I already talked about the scene. They're doing the blood test, all that. The douchebag paper mill guy shows up. John escapes. But as I was stating earlier, the reason that this guy is so evil is because he is literally in the middle of arresting people. He's not even a fucking cop. He's not, like, what is happening?
And I don't understand how he.
And then he walks up to Maggie and he goes, I'm really sorry, but I have to do this. I'm really sorry you have to see this. And I was like, you son of a bitch, you're not sorry. You suck, asshole. So they go out, Rob and Ramona, they go out into the woods to investigate the camping area where this family died, because that's the reason why he goes, the guys go there to arrest all the natives, is because they found the bodies of the campers, and so they just assumed it was the natives. Like, okay, cool.
Yeah, sure. That's just the logical conclusion, right?
Yeah, exactly. So they go to the site, and it's like, yeah, this isn't a normal. Like, at first, Ramona's like, oh, it's just a bear. It's like, why is there claw marks fucking 20 feet in the air on this tree? Like, that's a big ass bear if there's claw marks all the way up there. And they find a piece of like flesh with hair on it. So his whole thing is he's gonna do some tests with that as well. And I love, so they only way to get to where this site was by helicopter, because of course, as they stated, it takes 3 days to get to that site, so they had to hike. So the only way to get in there was the helicopter. But the storm starts picking up, and Maggie's in there. She's not having a good time. She's feeling a little woozy. Feel a little woozy here.
Yes.
And I love the freaking pilot. He's like, "You okay? What do you need? What does he try to give her?" He's like forcing this thing up her nose. It's like ammonia. He's like,
I'm like, that's gonna make her throw up.
Put it in your fucking nose. He's like literally forcing it up there. She's like, stop.
It's like, when you get done, I want to take a hit.
And I'm pretty sure when you're pregnant, they tell you not to.
That's why she was, I think,
ammonia.
She was trying to push him away, and then I think she kind of just gave up because he was like fucking forcing himself in there. And then she decides to get out of the chopper. And I'm like,
no, get back to the chopper.
Like, this man made her so uncomfortable, she decided to walk out into a typhoon to escape him. Yeah. And I love when she has the little hanky, or she has something in her hand and just flies away. The wind, the fan they had blowing on her was a little too strong, and she couldn't hold on to that little thing as she's trying to like wipe her face.
I mean, she's already sitting there with the door open. It's raining on her. She's wet. Just walk out in it.
So she wanders off, because you do, in a place that you don't know. But she goes over to this area where the pilot was talking about her. He's like, hey, you see those nets? You know, people, and they're not supposed to do that, but they put nets across the like certain streams so that they pretty much catch whatever goes through there. He's like, it's illegal, but whatever. No one says anything. Like, all right. So she goes over there, though, and that's when she finds these 2 mutant bear cubs. They're looking gnarly. It's literally, these bears look like Two-Face from Batman. They literally have like half of their face is actually a normal bear, and the other half is just like just melted flesh. And I'm thinking to myself, so this mutation, I mean, you kind of come to the conclusion the mutation comes from the fact that there's a lot of mercury in the water, and it's affecting the fact that the bears will eat salmon, which then has all the mercury, which then causes the mutation. But did the mama bear, was the mama bear born like that? Or was this kind of, it would make sense, right?
I don't know, because they talk about the changes happening like while it's in the womb. So I would assume.
Yeah, so the mama bear would have had to have been born mutated, just like the cubs, and she survived long enough to become an adult. And way bigger than a normal bear, of course, because that's one of the other things is the fact that it like progresses their growth.
So if she was born this way and had cubs, what bear did she have sex with?
Like, I think we get that at the end of the movie. That's just me.
Oh, yes, maybe. We do. We do. Yeah, but we won't mention it right now. So yeah, they save the bear cubs, and I like how they're just like, just let them die. Like, they're suffering, just let them die. And Rob's whole thing is he wants to prove that the paper mill is dumping mercury, and that this is their evidence against the paper company. The thing about Rob is a very complicated man, okay? Clearly, he doesn't want children. He has a very complicated relationship with his wife, but he is super determined to help people, underprivileged people. And so it's like, he's a mixed bag. Like, he's doing good, but he's neglecting other things in his life that's should be more important to him. Maybe you shouldn't be married.
He's putting his career first.
Right. Exactly. And, I'm not saying what he's like, give up your passion of like trying to help. Like, I think what he's doing is really good, but it's like, I feel you got to figure it out, dude. And it's kind of makes him a complicated guy.
He's got a lady over there.
Like, he's not the type of guy, like, I'm not watching this movie. And even in the scene when he's like, when she talks about wanting a family and he's conflicted, he's like, I told you, I'm not, that's not something I'm interested in. I'm not sitting there going, you suck, dude. Like, you kind of suck. Like, you're kind of, but I'm also like, when you find out she's pregnant, you're just kind of, you're like, dude, you're a doctor. I don't get why. I mean, I guess sometimes oopsies happen, but maybe you should be more careful.
He's a doctor of what, though?
Maybe.
I mean, I guess he's like a.
Right. I mean, even though he's a doctor, he's not a doctor of everything, but you should probably realize, how, reproduction works.
Where babies come from.
Yeah, exactly.
Did you have the birds and the bees talk when you were a kid?
And if you really just don't want to have kids, then the butt is, I think, your primary go. Like you just,
It is, dude.
you can't get them pregnant in the butt. Just that's not how it works.
Hey,
So
just
I said it better
keep going,
myself.
Angela. Come on, Angela. You have to join into this conversation. Come on. It can't just be me and Dan.
No, I read one time it says if a girl sucks a guy off and swallows, is that babysitting?
Yes. Well done, dude. Well done.
Oh
I
my
like it.
God. Oh my Lord.
Hey, we talked about this at work earlier. Holes is holes.
Holes is holes, baby.
A very small percent
$20 is
of female listeners just dropped.
It ain't my fault. I didn't say it.
Dan,
I'm a lady. I can't help it.
it was your fault.
I'm married to this
It wasn't
one.
my fault this time. Yeah, I know.
They started coming
I'll
back,
gladly
right?
admit to that.
Like Dan hasn't said anything too crazy lately. And then Angela comes, she's like,
Yep.
They must have clearly
our
skipped.
representation
Rubbed off on
has
me.
betrayed us.
Yes, I have rubbed off on you, dear.
Oh no. God.
She said it. I was just reiterating.
Oh no.
They clearly have not listened to our Humanoids from the Deep episode.
No.
I have.
Please listen to it.
Not
It's
that
a-
it was.
It's a wild one.
It is actually. We have some genuine discussions. of
Did
it.
you tell them my feelings on the movie?
Yeah, you said it was
Okay.
all right. You just didn't care for the rapey dude stuff,
No,
which is fair.
Yeah.
Most people probably don't.
because I did like the uniqueness of the monster design.
Murlocs.
But you don't see stuff like that. They have like
No, that's
really long arms and
And their
I thought it was
crazy
cool.
It's
teeth.
for grabbing bitches.
The
Yes,
Steel
for
Book,
grabbing
just
bitches.
not to go off track and talk about that movie some more. I really wish I could have gotten the Shout Factory Steel Book of that because I love the cover art. but
Mhm.
they don't-
That's cool. I looked
It's
at
out
it.
of, it's out of
It's pretty
print,
sweet.
so very expensive.
Boo.
So
Words.
Yes,
They-
please.
are stuck in this area because the helicopter can't fly, and so they go to the Ramona's grandfather's tents that we saw earlier in the movie because that's the only place
Yep.
they can go for shelter. So they get there. He's gone. He's just like, okay. But there's another guy there. I don't remember who he was, but he's there. And they're like, hey, we need a bunch of stuff. We need some heat. We need a table. We need all this so I can, make sure this bear stays alive. This man, bear, pig. Do you know this movie is what influenced that from South Park?
I was reading that.
Is it?
Yeah.
It's like what?
The
Yeah.
look of the creature
Okay.
was what created the man, bear, pig. Yeah.
Okay. I'm glad somebody on this who made, one of the guys was like, you know what? Prophecy. We're going to take that design. Nobody remembers that movie, but we did.
People need
Hey,
to.
somebody had to watch
There's
it.
a lot
or
of
see it.
memorable. There's a lot of. Listen, we talked about probably the most memorable scene, but I think there's way more memorable scenes in this movie. This movie is. Listen, I don't want to show my hand early, but this movie is way better than it has any right to be. So they set up the help. Hawks doesn't want to get the sheriff because I get why not. Like he literally has had nothing but he has had nothing but problems with the authorities in the town. So why the hell would he want to go to them for help? It doesn't make any sense.
And he's like, just fucking do it. He's
Yeah.
like, I don't wanna.
But you gotta.
He's
It's the only
like,
way it's gonna help.
like a
He's like,
toddler.
fine. And Maggie's not
Yeah.
looking so good. She's very pale, and her husband's very concerned. But he's also concerned about the bear, who's also looking very pale and very just.
Bartholomew, what's wrong?
There were several times I'm like, just tell him you're pregnant. Like, just fucking tell him.
And I will say we did gloss over something. We didn't talk about it. It's where he figures out that it's all the methylmercury or whatever.
Mhm.
And then they had ingested the fish, and he talks
Right.
about how
Well, this
it
is where
was
she-
placental barrier.
Yeah, because this is where she says
Well,
she's pregnant.
Yeah, but that whole conversation was way earlier because they were in the cabin. The first time was where he had the epiphany. He was talking to the recording.
Yeah,
He was
because
going back and letting her listen to. That was way earlier. That was
she
earlier.
kept listening, going back and re-listening
Yeah,
to what he
not
said.
not that big a deal.
or who said.
It's no big deal. Like it's the thing that happened. I just want to make mention that's where she kind of got worried about. Admittedly, I will say this: I don't think realistically in this unrealistic film, having one meal of fish is going to like make your baby turn into like a mutant creature thing.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, I feel like you have to. I feel like the reason why like the natives were getting sick and dying was because they live off the land, so they were constantly eating the fish, or the wildlife in the area and consuming a lot of that. Where it's like, having one meal, I don't think is gonna.
Yeah,
it's probably make you sick, but it's not gonna affect you to that degree. But no, she talks about that more about how, because when she finally tells him that she's pregnant, she's like, I'm scared because, I've ingested the stuff that the mama bear has also ingested to make her that way and to make her cubs look like this. So, I'm creating my own monster. And it's like, I like kind of that whole scenario, that plot line with Maggie and all that, the fact of it, like it all kind of links together. But yeah, in reality, probably don't have to worry about it as much.
No. Just go see your doctor.
Exactly.
Not your husband, your doctor.
Yeah, just go to the doctor when you get home, get tested, and then there you go. You just keep moving on. But there's some info about the end of the movie that I don't think was told, but yet when Talia Shire speaks about it, she adds info, and I was like, I don't understand, but I'll talk about it more when we get to it. So the mill guy sees the cub, and he's finally like, oh shit, I probably should admit to the things that I know. And which is, he knew the whole time that there was mercury being pumped into the river. But if that was found out about, then the mill would close, and then he kind of be out of a job.
Yep.
So he kept it quiet. It's like, these fucking corporate people, fucking wild.
Yeah.
So the grandfather shows back up, and unfortunately, though, he brings a friend with him, and that friend is a giant mutant bear. And boy, does carnage occur. Again, like I said, when this bear attacks, it bitch slaps everything. He bitch slaps the sheriff, just starts freaking throwing everybody around. There's fire. One of my favorite shots is when they show the grandfather with the fire reflecting off of his glasses. Yeah, it's like right over his eyes. Cool. A super cool shot. And they escape into this tunnel that originally John was going to escape from. Like, he was going to go in there to escape because he found out that evil paper mill guy showed up with the sheriff, and he was there to arrest him. So he was like, I'm going to go into this tunnel. But then he finds out, then the bear shows up and starts, tearing shit up. And they go down into this tunnel, and it's a solid minute or two of just screaming and growling. Like, no one's talking. It's just screaming and growling from upstairs. And then the sheriff's like, well, I feel like it's been a good 20 seconds. Maybe I should go take a look. As soon as he pokes his head out, it's like, just gets pulled up, shredded, dropped back down. He's dead.
I do like that. Like, after the screaming stops, there's just that long spell of silence.
Yeah. It's just panning really around to every character, seeing how they're reacting. Like, Maggie is just really distraught. She is literally pinned against the wall, head, like, what am I doing here? Like, she's so out of it.
My baby do that?
This is how Sloth was born.
Baby.
So, and also the pilot got attacked during the chaos, and he gets he falls into a coma, and it ain't even over for that man because he gets it even worse. So
yes, he does.
They have to hike back to the village. Where are they going from here? Because they have to carry him on the man-made stretcher through the woods, and
they were trying because what's his name breaks off. Woodsman tries to go.
Yeah, he's gonna go
with the radio station.
Yep, and I think they're going to the closest village or something.
I think they're going to the cabin. Maybe it's the closest.
I think
they're originally going to go to the village.
Their version of a village. Yeah, but evil mill guy gets he goes a different way, and he's gonna go try to get help, and it doesn't go so well for him because he gets chased by the bear, and he tries to crawl under a fence, and then the bear just rips him in half. And I was like, damn, this man does not get any luck. He gets his arms ripped off in the thing, and then he gets his lower body ripped off in this. So, I mean, he deserved it. This guy sucked. This was a guy who died, and I was like, I did not feel bad. You were.
I didn't. I will. I'm not trying to cover for the guy. I didn't, but I do like that he at least tried to redeem himself in some way, shape, or form. Like, all right, I'm going to go get the radio. Who's to say what he was going to do?
Yeah.
He's still a piece of
He's fending
shit.
for
Still a
himself.
racist
He's
piece
still a
of
piece of
shit
shit.
who knew exactly
still a
what
racist
they
piece
were
of shit.
doing and didn't do anything about it. All
I
for
didn't want to
money.
Oh yeah.
So John finds a vehicle and they use it to get back to town. And this movie, I feel, could have been about 10 minutes shorter than it actually was, because there are some scenes where it kind of goes on for like too long, where like we're talking about the tunnel scene. I think it was okay, but I think they could have trimmed a good minute off of that. Yeah, I think it was very effective hearing the screams and the growling, like while they're in the tunnel, as you can hear that the bear is still like killing people up there. But then there's this scene in the car where it just pans around for, it feels like 5 minutes of them just driving.
That's too long.
It's so long. But then the bear just pops out of nowhere, runs down, bitch slaps this truck, flips it. I'm like, gee. It's so funny. The funny thing is, this bear always runs on on its hind legs. It doesn't like run like a bear. It's always like, boom.
It's like a damn penguin, I swear. What the fuck?
And when the truck flips and they try to crawl out, the baby bear that Maggie's been holding just freaking vampire bites her in the neck. I was like, oh my God. But that's not even the worst of it.
Oh, good.
Oh no, keep going.
Yeah, go ahead. You're building to it.
Oh, that's not even the worst of it. The freaking pilot is literally strapped to the side of this vehicle, can't get out. He's finally awake, and the bear freaking decapitates him.
Yep.
Like,
just runs by and takes his head.
It's one bite. Nom, nom.
Yes.
Holy crap. And then they're continuing. She still has the baby bear in her arms, and it's still like gnawing on her neck. I'm like, throw that shit on the ground. Get rid of the thing. My God. And they find a pond or a lake, and they start swimming because there's like a cabin on the other side. And
I think that's their cabin.
Oh yeah,
that they were staying at.
That makes sense. It was hard to tell because it was like there was no lights on or anything, so it was hard to like pick out anything in there. But but Grandpa, he's like, I'm gonna stand up to this bear because he thinks it's the Katahdin, the legend or whatever. So he thinks he would be able to, stop it or speak to it or whatever. No, this thing literally, one of the funniest things is when everyone's out in the water and they're seeing the bear from afar, and it's got him in his mouth, and it's just swinging, it's his legs just swinging around from his mouth.
Dude, that looks like, that probably is it, but it just looked like stop motion to me.
It's so funny.
It is. I like the fog. It's like that 80s fog, like 70s, 80s fog in some movies where it's like, it's super thick, and it just, I don't know. It's neat. I mean,
I thought it was really good.
Whatever it's neat.
Yeah. But it's just really funny when they would pan to the shore and the bear is just like, oh, swinging the dude around in its mouth.
I was hoping we'd see more because it's like swinging and it cuts back and it's swinging and it cuts back and the dude's just gone.
Yeah.
It's like you're supposed to guess that he ate him already. He just
ate him or tossed him somewhere.
Yeah, I've ate enough tonight. So then we get this long scene of the bear slowly walking into the pond. And it just keeps on going and going. And as it keeps walking, it's starting to, you see less and less of the bear because the pond is getting deeper. And it just disappears. And all you see is like the bubbles. And everybody's like, and I love that Rob automatically assumes he's like, it's dead. We did it, guys. High fives all around. It's going to be good. I was like, nah. It can't end like this.
Nope.
It can't end like this.
Not that easy.
It ain't dead. So they all are like, oh, okay, I guess we're going to the cabin. We got to fortify this thing. Oh man, none of this fortifying does anything because the bear literally rips the roof off and just gets a blast to the face. Just shotgun, boom, to the face. And it then blasts through the wall, and John gets completely yeeted out of the house. Like he is R.I.P. to John. Like he is.
After he gets one, like, does he get like one arrow in him? I think.
Yeah, he shoots an arrow because
2 arrows.
It's like 1 or 2 arrows, I think, and then the bear completely yeets him and he's dead. So, and then Rob literally gets grabbed by the bear, but he grabs one of the arrows that John had shot into him, and he like takes it out and he just repeatedly just stabs the bear to the point that it falls and into the water, and he just keeps stabbing it, and that's how it dies. And I was like, oh, okay. Kind of anticlimactic. But it just like sinks into the water, and that's kind of like your final thing that you see.
Truly
of
the
bear.
white knight of this film.
Oh.
The white guy's got to save everybody.
One of the characters thought this was a wet t-shirt contest. Because when they get out of the water...
Yes, she did.
When they get out of the water and they see the bear slowly making its way, and they kept panning back to see everybody's like shocked face as they're watching the bear. Yeah. It's like, damn. All right. Sure. No complaints from me. Yeah, so they're flying out of there. It literally goes from like the bear just disappearing into the water and dying to the plane flying over the wilderness, and Maggie and Rob are out of there. But that's not the end, as our final shot is a mutant bear jump scare. And the reason that this isn't the bear we've seen throughout the movie is because it just looks different. Like it looks like a different bear.
All of its hair's missing off its face.
And
it's just like a skull.
Yeah. So this must be the male, the bear that procreated with the other mutant bear to make the mutant baby bears.
I do like the design of this one, though.
We didn't get a prophecy too, so we never got to see that story.
It's called Fulfillment.
No, it's called Prophecy the Revenge. It's gonna be like Jaws the Revenge, but with a bear, the mutant bear. It's
Prophecy,
it's going to go to like, they live in a city, so the bear's going to like venture to the city and like.
No, Prophecy Bloodlines.
Or
Prophecy in the Ghetto.
Prophecy takes Manhattan.
Yes! Hell yeah, dude. We just do it. No, we got it, dude. John is continuing to do his work in disparaged neighborhoods, and we'll just call it Prophecy in the Hood.
Oh my god. But yeah, that's it. That is the plot of 1979's Prophecy. So
why do they call it that? What prophecy is this saying?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know, but it's
I feel like this was like a name tied to the book or like the original script idea. They're like, fuck it, just leave it.
Yeah, I mean the novelization was also called Prophecy. I don't know. That's all I got for you.
I feel like I should watch Annihilation after watching this.
Oh yeah, because that one's got a cool mutant bear.
That's what I've heard that too, and I'm like, I should watch Annihilation.
He's Johnny,
and he's Darren.
Do you like movies?
Do you like your childhood?
Do you like movies from your childhood?
Do you like podcasts about movies from your childhood?
If you answered yes to one or all those questions, then you might enjoy NostalgiaCast. It's a podcast about movies from your childhood.
So if you're nostalgic for nostalgia, then you might like NostalgiaCast. See, that's the name of our podcast, NostalgiaCast.
Yeah, I think they got that.
Should we sign off?
Let's do it. I'm Johnny.
And he's Darren. And this is
NostalgiaCast. I win.
All right. It's time to go around the room and talk about our final thoughts on Prophecy. It's going to be interesting since this is our first time seeing it all around. So, Angela, why don't you start us off?
I went into this with a very low bar just from seeing the cover of this movie. I was like, what the hell is that? I loved it. My favorite scene was the camping scene with the boy. I mean, that was great. I mean, when I can tell people at work, I'm like, watch the movie for this scene. Just do it. Yeah, it was great.
I think this is especially for the time, because a lot of killer animal movies in this time, 70s and 80s, and I think this is pretty. I'd say it's above average for a film like this. I thought it was shot pretty well, acted fairly decently for the actors in it, and it just like, I mean, it had some of the tropes of the time we talked about, and then, like, of course, environmentalism, whatever, but. The monster design, I liked it, but like, it's kind of, some shots were as good as others. Clearly this wasn't a top of the line budget film, but they still had some money to put into it. But I liked it. I thought it was pretty good. I'd watch it again. I mean, I've seen a lot worse than this. This is definitely, I would say, above my average for a film like this.
Yeah, I mean, this was a pleasant surprise. Like, I went into this knowing next to nothing other than, like I stated, that it was a movie that had a mutant bear in it. That was literally all I knew. I remember when I bought the Blu-ray and I got it in, I looked at the back and I was like, ooh, what is this gonna be? what am I in for? And the story, like it definitely starts off super serious, and the fact that it like kind of loses the tone once you get to see the creature itself. And then of course that sleeping bag scene is just perfection. Like whoever came up with that idea and said and approved that kill, bravo to you. You should have won awards, because that was just chef's kiss. But again, the tone is just all over the place with this movie. It like doesn't know if it wants to be a serious movie about protecting the environment or if it wants to be a goofy monster movie, and it kind of blends all together. But overall, I had a blast with this. Like I mean, I'm glad I own it now. I'm definitely going to be watching it again. And I got to see if it's got a commentary track. I don't remember. But if it does, I am watching it again with the commentary track.
Need to buy it.
Oh, yeah, there is an audio commentary with entertainment journalist. Okay, that's...
Is the bear on the audio commentary?
Yeah. Just... Oh, man, I agree. That was a great time. I mean, to be honest, this would be a great movie to just do a commentary track, like us three doing our own commentary on it. I think definitely. Would be great. I mean, we kind of did with the episode, but
true. We could do a back-to-back. We could do a double feature with this. Do Prophecy straight into Anaconda.
Oh my!
The Frank Welker giant monster giant animal double pack.
Yeah,
I'd buy it.
Good. Yeah. I mean, overall, the performances are good. I think the bear is hit or miss for me. Like some shots look really good, some shots are like oof. But for the time frame that the artists had to create the monster and for what they needed the monster to do, I think it looks fun. I think the creature looks, I mean, when it's on screen, you're laughing. It's funny. It's a funny looking, mutant thing. Yeah, this movie's just, I mean, I don't think it's supposed to be fun. I think it's supposed to have like a stronger message to it. Like, of course, treat, people with respect and respect the people who, have the land, it's just, why can't we all just get along? Instead, we gotta
respect the people, respect the land.
Exactly. And I think that's the message that this movie wants you to take away, which you do. And of course, it's like, take care of the environment as well and all that. But like, again, it loses that tone for a bit whenever the monster shows up and starts bitch slapping trucks and children into rocks and stuff like that. So overall, I had a great time with this movie. Looking forward to checking it out again. I highly recommend it. There is a scene in the beginning of the movie where dogs die, and it does show dead dogs. So if you're not into that, just, I guess, skip the beginning or just kind of go into it knowing they're not real. I think that's always a thing where I get why people don't like seeing dogs die in movies. And it's like, I don't really like seeing dogs die in media as well, but I always have to go into I always go in knowing that's not real. It's the same thing when people die. Like that's not real. So, but I definitely recommend people check this out, especially for that one kill, because it's fantastic.
Do it.
All right, time to go over to social media and see what you all had to say about Prophecy. We got a few responses, pretty shocking. I figured this was a movie that not a lot of people had seen, at least not a lot of people in our circle. But yeah, we got a few responses. Over on Twitter, we had one from Anthony Rudak, or at Anthony Rudak, who says, honestly, rivals Jason's work with a sleeping bag. Hell yeah, it does. And to be honest, in my opinion, it's better. And it's okay. I will defend that.
I can't argue it. Like, it's a fucking great kill. Like,
yeah, I will defend that with my dying breath. Over on Instagram, we got a couple. We got one from Newman from Movies for Days, who says, oh, I love this flick. It's positively bonkers. And then Big Bad Wolf A84 says, I watched this weird movie back in college and asked myself, why is Adrian here and where's Rocky? Decent film with a kill that would make Kane Hodder jealous. The story about the Native Americans reminded me of another film called Wolfen. I think my favorite mutant animal film would be The Relic. I absolutely love the monster design in that one. Yeah, so I asked people what they thought of the movie, and I also, as I've been trying to do, or try to remember to do, is ask a bonus question. And the bonus question was, what is your favorite mutant animal movie? So thank you.
I have an answer to that.
for that response. Gonna go over to Blue Sky because I do remember seeing that we got a response over there.
What?
From at SETI Bimco Part 2 at Blue Sky says, managed to sneak into the theater and see this when I was too young to see it. Many people in the theater did indeed laugh at the sleeping bag scene.
Yeah, sweet.
Yes. So,
verification. Thank you.
Absolutely. It was so hard not to. And then, of course, we're going to go over to our Discord where we did get some responses from some people, not about the movie because, not like I said, I felt like not a lot of people had seen this movie, but we did get answers about the other question. Our first one is from patron Lo Wang, who says, I have not seen it, but I hear great things about it. My favorite mutant animal movie is probably Eight-Legged Freaks. Oh, I love Eight-Legged Freaks. Though technically they aren't animals in that one. Yeah, I'll count it.
No, what? Since fucking when?
What, spiders aren't animals?
Yes. Spiders are part of the animal kingdom.
Oh, okay.
They're just...
All right. I said I counted it.
Look, I'm just saying. No. They said they didn't count it, or you didn't. I thought you said you didn't count it.
No, they said though technically they aren't animals in that one.
They are. Look, if you look over taxonomy, they're under Animalia.
All right. So well, there you go. See, it passed. And
I'm just giving you shit.
Eight-Legged Freaks is definitely one we need to cover at some point.
We do. I remember watching a long time ago, and
it's got.
I'm really critical of spider movies. So,
it's got one of the actresses from Anaconda in it. The Owen Wilson's girlfriend.
Oh, is she in that? Holy shit! I didn't realize that. Okay, fair.
The one that he keeps calling Baby Bird.
Yes.
Fair enough. That's been so long, dude.
Captain Steve says favorite mutant animal movie would have to be the Fly remake or Deep Blue Sea. Two solid choices right there. And Daniel Collins says I've never watched this movie. My favorite mutant animal movie would be the Fly remake or TMNT. I can't say TMNT isn't because it literally they have mutant in the name. So I'll pass it. I mean, they are mutant animals. So that's a good call because I feel like most people probably wouldn't say that because it falls in like a different category. But I mean, why not? I'd count it. We count it here. Thank you, everybody, for sharing your thoughts. If you want to join our Discord and join in on the conversation, there's a lot of great conversations happening over on our Discord. Make sure to go over to Patreon. You don't have to pay to join our Patreon. You can actually join at a free tier. And if you want, you join at the free tier, and as soon as you join, I will send you a Discord link so that you can join us over on Discord. We got a lot of great channels in there, just kind of having great conversations, and there's going to be some cool interactive stuff going on in there soon. So patreon.com for that and more. So Dan.
Do we have answers to the question?
Thank you, Dan. Thank you for taking control of the show. Dan, Angela.
I'm just asking. Listen.
Why are you getting defensive?
My show too.
Why are you getting defensive? I was so on board for this, and I'm getting attacked.
I know. I'm just fucking with
I wasn't offended. I was like, oh, no, thank you. Dan's like, son of a bitch.
You motherfucker.
Just punches me through the screen.
What'd you say about me? I just said happy birthday.
Oh, God.
I'm sorry.
We're all crying by the end. No, thank you.
Actually, if we had answers,
this is why I'm not creative, Dan. This is why the show isn't very creative because I don't do these things. But that's a good idea. Dan, Angela, what is your favorite mutant animal movie?
I don't have an answer.
You're just using me to buy time.
I don't have an answer.
All right.
Jace.
I'm not gonna, even though I think he technically is like just any kaiju movie you could count, but I'm not gonna. I'm gonna refrain back, but I'm gonna say them.
Great movie. We have an episode of our other show, The Monster Zone, where we talked about that classic. It's actually rated I think it's actually rated number 1 currently in my Monster Zone rankings. So them is a great pick. It's on my Letterboxd. I'm sorry. I just do it on my own. I'm sorry.
I don't know. I liked The Fly.
The remake?
That's a good one.
I thought that one was really good.
It is very good.
So I would have to, off the cuff, I would have to go with that without like sitting down and thinking about it.
We gotta cover The Fly too at some point. Good old Eric Schultz.
Yep. I do want to see the second one. I really do. And then go back and watch the 50s ones.
Yes,
because I've not seen those either.
Well, that should be on our Monster Zone wheel. It's a monster movie.
It should be.
It's like the alligator people.
No, we don't have to. I'll get you, Gator Man. That's all right.
For me, I mean, I see. The thing is, when I think of like Anaconda, because I love Anaconda, it's like I know it's bad. It's one of those movies I know it's bad, but I could watch it anytime and have a blast with it. But I don't consider them mutant animals because they're supposed to be portrayed as like real anacondas.
Yeah, they're just
even though
big,
they're not.
Right?
Yeah, so I'm not going to count Anaconda. I would say, see, Lake Placid's also a tough one too because I feel like it's just a massive crocodile. Like it's supposed to be realistic, but it's not.
Yeah, it's just supposed to be like it's in an environment where it would have no natural predators and it just had a free reign of food. And of course, she's feeding it like it's just huge because it was overfed.
Yeah,
like
let's see.
Right?
What would I pick? Mutant animal. That's so tough because Anaconda would have been like my prime pick, but then I'm like, it doesn't count. I feel like it doesn't count.
Oh, damn! You can't see none of the Jaws movies either because it's just a big shark.
It's just a shark. Fuck. I mean, I guess I would probably say Deep Blue Sea. I love Deep Blue Sea, and I think you would consider them. I mean, they're what is it called? What's the word? Biologically created. Is that how you would say it?
Yeah, they're biologically modified organisms, so they're mutated. They're not natural. Yeah, that works.
I mean, I guess other than that, I would probably have to jump on the Fly train. I think the Fly's fantastic. That's about
Fly train.
Yeah, I mean, I'm trying to qualify it into in the right category, but I would probably see one of those. I do love Eight-Legged Freaks, so I haven't seen it in a bit, but I remember the last time I saw it was probably a couple years ago, and I still was like, yeah, this movie's stupid as hell, but it falls in that same category as Anaconda. Like the acting's not great, but it's just stupid. It's just stupid fun. And sometimes you shouldn't feel any shame about enjoying movies that are just absolutely dumb.
It's okay to enjoy a shitty movie, guys.
Yeah,
it's
exactly.
okay. I tell my cousin and my coworker that all the time. Not everything needs to be Citizen Kane. You could just enjoy a dumb movie.
You and the Giant Claw.
I love the Giant Claw, and it sucks.
I mean, I love a lot of these mutant monster movies that we've been covering on the Monster Zone. Like that, you mentioned them is fantastic, but like any of the Harryhausen, monster movies that we've talked about, like they're not technically mutants, but you could put them in, I feel like you could put them in that category. So, I don't know.
Yeah.
Well, that is it for Prophecy. Thank you, Angela, or thank you, Dan, for that pick. Angela, your pick is coming up next.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Mine's
thank you,
next
Dan,
week.
for that pick.
It was a good, worthwhile one.
Next week,
Hers will be better.
Yeah, it's going to be... we'll see about that. Next week's pick is going to be great. What are you pointing at me for? I didn't say nothing. I just said we'll see about that.
A good mutant movie is Alligator.
That is true. It is a mutant.
I wouldn't say it was like a best, but it is a good. It's a good
movie. It's a good one. But yeah, next week is our third episode for Jaws Clone Month, and it will be Angela's pick, and we're going to be talking about 1982's Parasite 3D. Whoa! We're doing another 3D movie. Oh my god, we're talking about Demi Moore's first movie. Wild stuff. This will be the second time I've seen this movie in less than a year, which is pretty crazy. But yeah, I'm excited to revisit it and kind of cover the whole thing on our show. Our friends over at Vintage Video covered it earlier this year as part of their journey through 1982. So you should check that episode out because they have a lot of great info about the movie and the production. It's a Charles Band directed movie, which is something Charles Band didn't do a lot of. He's very much a writer, a producer, and stuff like that. So for him to direct is always interesting. And it was during the 3D phase of, the 80s, which we have already covered another 3D movie this year with Friday the 13th Part 3, which also came out in 1982. So this was a movie that came out around the same time that was utilizing that new age 3D effect. So I'm not going to watch it in 3D, but I'm very interested to rewatch it and kind of be like, oh, that's what was supposed to be in 3D. That's what they were trying to do. So I'm very excited to to venture into that one again. I wish I had the Blu-ray to show, but I'll have it in a couple days.
Yes. At the appropriate time, you'll have it.
Yeah, exactly. Well, thank you everybody for listening and watching. That was a lot of fun talking about Prophecy. Please check it out wherever you can. I think it's currently streaming. I think it's streaming on a couple places. I think it's on Pluto right now. It might be on other things.
It's the French version.
You should. Is it really?
Yeah, we pulled it up.
What?
And unless there's a way to change the language, I couldn't figure out when I started
it up.
It was either French or Spanish because I could not find it anywhere, and I had to link to it through Google search, not through the actual app, and that's what version was playing.
Pluto being weird. But yeah, check it out. And make sure to watch Parasite. I think Parasite's literally streaming on a few different things, so you could check that out before we cover it in next week's episode. And yeah, now it's time to do the fun part of the show where I get to sell you on the show you just listened to for the last 2 hours. You can find us on all the social medias. We are on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, and Threads. You can find us on Twitter and Facebook at Dissect That Film. You can find us on Threads and Instagram at Dissect That Film Pod. We are on Patreon, as I mentioned before, patreon.com/Dissect That Film, where you can join for free to join our Discord, or you can join at the $1 tier, which you get uncut versions of the episodes a week before they're fully released to the public. And there's a $3 tier, which we have some things planned. So if you want to join us there, we appreciate your support. It's more of like just an extra support for the show, because all the money that we get through Patreon gets put back into the show to pay for all of the different programs that we use to record and all that fun stuff. So if you can help us there, that would be fantastic. If you can't do that, make sure to go to any one of the podcast apps that you listen to us on and rate us 5 stars. Leave us a review. The more reviews we get, the more ears, the more they push our show out to more listeners. And we definitely want people to listen, but we also want to get new people to listen. And also, we are on YouTube, where you can watch the video form of the podcast. YouTube.com/Dissect That Film. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. We are getting closer and closer to those that lucrative 1,000 subscribers. We're very close. So if you can help us out with that, leave us a comment. We love reading the comments on YouTube. It's always fun. Maybe I'll start jotting some good ones down, and I'll read them on the show before we get into the current movie we're talking about. Kind of change some things up. I think that would be cool. When I remember.
That'd be sweet.
Yeah. It's always about me remembering. And it's like, well, then write them down, idiot. It's like, I know. But
I respect that.
What's the point of that? What's the point of writing things down to remember it? Just so you can forget it when you're editing and you go, oh, we forgot to rank Friday the 13th Part 3 in our rankings. But you know what? We'll just do that another time.
What's done is done.
What's done is done. We have a monster show called The Monster Zone, where once or twice a month, we spin a wheel and talk about a monster movie. It is June, so you will be getting The Beast from Hollow Mountain, which is our Out of the Patreon Vault episode, which we recorded a couple years ago or last year. I can't remember. And then our newest episode is going to be on 1979's. I got the alternate cover on. It's called Monster or Monster Humanoids from the Deep. I don't know how I'm going to title this when we release it. I don't know if I should put Monster or if I should just put Humanoids from the Deep. I'm probably just going to do it that way.
I'd probably put Humanoids from the Deep and then put, like, if you want to put
Monster as like a
parentheses. Yeah.
But
because I think more people don't have a standard title.
That'll be our brand new episode with our other co-host, Mikey. And then, and then at the end of this month, after we cover Parasite, at the end of this month, we are going to be having a special 50th anniversary conversation about one of the greatest films ever, and that is Jaws. So please stay tuned for that. That is going to be a fun episode. It's been 4 years since we've talked about Jaws on this show, and it's, as I've always stated, it's one of my least favorite episodes. And hopefully this one will be a massive improvement on it. And, I definitely want to pay a lot of respect to my favorite movie on a big, big milestone, 50 years, which is absolutely insane to think about. So June's a fun month, and then July is going to be even crazier because we got a lot of cool things planned, but we're not going to talk about that right now because it's time to get the hell out of here, guys. Last thing I want to do, though, is to thank all the wonderful patrons over at patreon.com/dissectthatfilm. we have, once I get to the right thing, we have Billy Joseph Jr., Bucket of Chum, the Shark Movie Podcast, Corey Morissette, Daniel Collins, Jordan Champion. Oh my goodness, we have a new patron. His name is Lo Wang. Thank you for joining at the Mark Wahlberg Book Club. At some point, you will be getting a Mark Wahlberg Book Club membership card. We just got to make them. Angela, don't cover your face. It's not your fault. We're gonna get it done. We're gonna get it done one way or another. So all of you wonderful people who are at the $3 tier right now, you're gonna be getting those cards. And even people who are at the $3 tier and drop down, you're still gonna get your card because you were at one point part of the Mark Wahlberg Book Club. We're gonna get it done for you. So stay tuned for that. And like I said, there's gonna be some other stuff gonna be happening at that tier. So strap in. Lo Wang, thank you so much for joining the Patreon. We appreciate you very much, and we hope we can keep you entertained for as long as we possibly can. I continue. Rudy5453, Dustin from the Flicks and Friends podcast, Angela, Anna Presley, Dan of Dissect That Film, Doom Generation, Eric Stein, Jason, Robert Stewart, and the Baron's Hideout podcast. Thank you all for supporting us over on Patreon, and thank you to everybody else for supporting us, period, for liking our videos, commenting, sharing the show, rating us, all that fun stuff. We appreciate all the support. It really, without you, the show wouldn't be even an inkling of what it is. So we greatly appreciate you. All right. I think that's it, guys. I'm probably missing something, as I always do, but you know what? It's time to get out of here. Until next time.
It's okay.
I am Brett Parker. That is Dan and Angela. We are Dissect That Film, and this has been another episode of the Dissect That Film podcast. We'll see y'all again on the next one. Bye.
Only you can help prevent forest fires.
Don't eat the mercury-filled fish.